Larry, is that your take as well?
No, I hate to disagree with Doug because he was certainly right about the Biden Ryan debate, but no, I think the audience will be well down. This is not to criticize Mike Pence or Tim Kaine, but they're somewhat gentlemanly, and I don't think either one is exceptionally exciting. So I don't think the audience will be great. I don't think anything special will come out of it. And the people who watch a vice presidential debate, any of the vice presidential debates, are partisans. They're the hard partisans. You actually get some undecideds or some voters who are only leaning watching the presidential debates. But vice presidential debates, once you lose millions of viewers, what you've got is the hardcore Democrats and Republicans, and they already know who they're voting for.
Yeah, Jonathan, that's a good point that Larry makes. At the end of the day, you have two vice presidential candidates who are known to be pretty reasonable men. They've been around politics for a very long time. They're probably going to be gentlemanly to each other. There may be some moments of heat, but it's not anything that we haven't seen before in past presidential or vice presidential debates, unlike having a Sarah Palin who's an outsized personality or perhaps an LBJ.
Or a Donald Trump.
Or Donald Trump as a...
I mean, I think that, you know, when you think about vice presidential debates, probably the best rule is first do no harm. If you're the vice presidential candidate and you wake up the next morning and the headlines are all about you, chances are that you've messed something up. And if you're the bottom of the ticket, you really don't want to have it be that way. It's certainly one of the most important moments for the vice presidential candidate. The vice presidential rollout and the convention are the only other two that come close. But really, it's mainly a chance to get the message out there, as Larry says, reinforce support with hardcore supporters, and sort of, you know, communicate the message to as broad an audience as you can.
Larry, let me ask you a question as somebody who is not as experienced as the three of you are in following this. I wonder, though, does anybody ever think to themselves that this person, this vice presidential candidate, could one day be president, and that's why it's important to know what you're getting?
Well, they certainly should. I think we've had 9 successions of one sort or another in American history. So lots of vice presidents have become president without benefit of an election. In this coming vice presidential debate between Pence and Kaine, I wouldn't be surprised, given the public's dislike of these two candidates, to hear a lot of people say, gee, I wish we could flip the tickets. Well, of course, the answer is you can't flip the tickets, but the corollary of that is it's possible one of them will become president through succession.
Doug, jump in. I saw you looking to jump in.
Yeah, the only caveat I would add is that this is a little bit of a different vice presidential debate in that Donald Trump has not solidified his base. And he's actually has the chance to draw in some of those partisan Republicans who are among the only people that will tune into a vice presidential debate. And in a close election, when it's really a close election, everything matters. Every little thing matters. And we don't know if this will be a close election, but it has that possibility.
Go ahead, Jonathan.
I think that's a really interesting idea, is what happens when you take the Donald Trump message and remove Donald Trump. There are certainly, you know, there are undecided voters left in this country who maybe are turned off by Donald Trump's personality, but might be open to his message on trade and on jobs. And Mike Pence is a much more palatable spokesman for some of those ideas. So it's possible that there are viewers who, hearing the Donald Trump message on TV, without all the Donald Trump baggage, say, okay, you know what, I'm ready to take the leap.
Right, because it sort of speaks a little bit to the strategy of perhaps not picking Chris Christie. There you have another politician who's bombastic, who's larger than life. A lot of people thought that he might be Donald Trump's vice presidential pick, but he went with the safer choice, Mike Pence, somebody who brings that conservative credential to the table. And for those people who may not like the bombast and the rhetoric of a Donald Trump, they go, well, Mike Pence is there. He'll be a guiding voice, a guiding light in the White House.
Right, and I think that even incentivizes Mike Pence even more to not really try and take any big risks in the debate. Because right now he's pretty, to the extent that he's defined with the electorate at all, it's as someone who is a safe choice.
Right.
So if he says something that looks ill-informed or a little bit crazy, he really trades away the best thing that he's got going for him as the bottom of the ticket.